Americans have this thing where they go abroad and visit the local hospital, and they're shocked since it's just a place of healing. You go there, you get fixed up, you leave. End of transaction. And then they're wondering, where's the mixed co-deductible? Since Americans have names for bullshit fees like Inuits have for snow. And for the same reason, it's all they see every day. So I've been talking to these Americans and asking, do you know why your own healthcare system is a scam? And they never do. They don't know what's the reason. So if you're one of those people, I'll just tell you. My information is based on hearing one podcast. So I hope this goes well. During World War II, there was a shortage of workers in the United States because they were off fighting in the war. Since back then, Americans didn't like Nazis. So, because of the shortage of workers, the government told the workplaces that they are not allowed to compete with pay for the workers. So then they would just scoop up all the people who would otherwise help the war effort. So, what the employers did, they realized, hey, there's this new thing, actually functioning medicine. Hospitals are no longer just a guy with a hacksaw and a bottle of whiskey. So they did that. They're like, hey, hospital costs money, but if you work for us, we will insure you so you can just go to the hospital. And this was good for the wartime. But then eventually World War II ended. Ever heard of the end of the World War II? It's not on now, it's off. So World War II ended, and all the other, well, not all, but most of the other countries in the world just went to normal healthcare. They ended wartime rationing. But America kept doing this wartime rationing. And then their president in the 50s was like, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Why do we tie healthcare to working? But the people in power didn't want to change that, since that means that they have leverage over the workers. They don't need the people running the factories. They won't need an army of Pinkertons anymore. Having someone's healthcare tied to their job is more efficient than a dozen Pinkertons. So that's basically it. And the president tried to stop it in the 50s. And Congress was fine, but the Senate voted against it. Since the Senate always has an over-representation of right-wing nuts, since the smaller states have never heard of a bad idea that they didn't like. Okay, so I just want to tell you, Americans, that you don't have to do wartime rationing 80 years after the war is over. And if you're wondering why your system is just so messed up, if you just continue doing wartime rationing for 80 years, it's going to create a twisted system. No matter what Tom Hanks tells you, World War II is over. So, that's it. I have no more points.